Hello, I am Ryan.
Hello, I am Amy. Welcome to Listen to English Podcast. Today's episode is Everyday English Conversation for Daily Life. Even simple greetings can have subtle nuances depending on who you're talking to and the overall setting. What's up, for example, is definitely very casual and friendly, something you'd use with close friends, family members, or maybe even colleagues you have a relaxed relationship with. Picture yourself running into someone you know at the coffee shop. What's up is a perfectly natural and breezy way to initiate a chat. How's it going? On the other hand, it can be a bit more flexible. It can certainly be casual, but it's also appropriate in slightly more formal settings, like asking a coworker about their day or greeting a new acquaintance at a social gathering.
It's interesting how even these seemingly basic greetings can have such subtle shades of meaning, and I think that's something English learners often struggle with. Context is definitely key here. I recall a time when I was a student and I used "What's up" with a professor during office hours, and I received a very bewildered look in return. Safe to say that was a lesson learned. I imagine many of our listeners can relate to those kinds of cross-cultural misunderstandings.
I'm sure they can. It's all part of the learning process, and sometimes those little mishaps can be the most memorable lessons. Now, shifting gears to saying goodbye, we often hear, "See you later," which is a very common and versatile phrase, but it does imply that you'll see the person again relatively soon, doesn't it? It carries this upbeat and optimistic tone, reflecting a sense of ongoing connection.
It's almost like you're already looking forward to the next encounter. But of course, we have a whole spectrum of goodbyes at our disposal, each suited to different situations and levels of formality. Take care, for instance, conveys a more heartfelt farewell, especially if you're not sure when you'll see the person again. It expresses genuine care and concern for their well-being. And "talk to you soon" is great for concluding phone calls or online conversations, leaving that line of communication open and hinting at future interactions.
Exactly. It's all about choosing the phrase that best aligns with the situation and the level of closeness you have with the person. Now, expressing gratitude is a fundamental aspect of politeness in any language, wouldn't you say? And in English, we have several go-to phrases for conveying sincere appreciation. Studies show "thanks a lot" and "thank you very much" are great examples of this. They're simple, direct, and widely understood.
They're like those essential building blocks of politeness, the phrases we learn early on and continue to use throughout our lives. And of course, the standard response to these expressions of gratitude is "you're welcome," signaling that you were happy to help or that the gesture was no trouble at all. It's a simple exchange, but it goes a long way in maintaining social harmony and creating a positive atmosphere.
Precisely those little acknowledgments of gratitude can really make a difference in how we perceive each other and navigate social interactions. Now, let's shift gears and talk about those times when we need to get someone's attention or apologize for something. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you needed to politely interrupt a conversation but weren't sure how to do it without sounding rude?
Oh, all the time, especially when it's a lively group discussion and you have a burning desire to share your own thoughts or add to the conversation. I think we've all been there. It can be tricky to find that perfect moment to interject without disrupting the flow.
It definitely can be, and that's where the phrase, excuse me, comes in handy. It's a gentle and universally recognized way to signal that you need someone's attention or would like to interject, without coming across as abrupt or disrespectful. It's like a verbal tap on the shoulder, a way of politely requesting a moment of their time.
So if you're at a busy store counter and need to get the cashier's attention, or you're trying to join a group conversation that's already in full swing, "excuse me" is your go-to phrase. It's all about being respectful while also making your presence known.
Exactly. It's about striking that balance between assertiveness and courtesy. Now, on the flip side, what happens when we make a mistake or unintentionally offend someone? That's where "I'm sorry" becomes our best friend, wouldn't you say? It's a powerful phrase for acknowledging our errors, expressing remorse, and taking responsibility for our actions.
Absolutely. I think taking responsibility for our actions, even small slip-ups or unintentional offenses, is crucial for maintaining positive relationships and fostering a sense of trust and respect. So whether you accidentally bump into someone on the street or forget a deadline at work, a sincere "I'm sorry" can go a long way in smoothing things over and demonstrating your willingness to make amends.
I couldn't agree more. It shows humility and a genuine desire to repair any damage caused by our actions. It's a small phrase with a big impact.
Now let's dive into the realm of asking for help and opinions. Those essential aspects of communication that allow us to navigate daily life, collaborate with others, and gain valuable insights. It appears that sometimes we all need a helping hand or a fresh perspective, and being able to articulate those needs clearly and effectively is a valuable skill.
It certainly is. And "can you help me" is a phrase that gets straight to the point, a straightforward and universally understood request that can be used in a wide range of contexts. It's direct, clear, and leaves no room for misinterpretation.
It's like that emergency flare you send up when you're stuck in a tricky situation and need assistance. Whether you're wrestling with a flat tire, grappling with a complex math problem, or simply can't reach that jar on the top shelf, "can you help me?" is a clear signal that you need support.
I love that analogy. And while "can you help me" is certainly effective, we can also tailor our language to be more polite or formal depending on the situation and who we're asking for help. For instance, if you're asking a favor of someone you don't know well or you need to be extra courteous, "could you lend a hand?" sounds a bit softer and less demanding.
And if you're in a more formal setting, like asking a professor for assistance or requesting help from a customer service representative, "would you mind helping me?" conveys a higher level of respect and deference. It's all about choosing the right level of formality for the context.
Absolutely. Those subtle shifts in phrasing can make a significant difference in how our requests are received. And speaking of seeking input from others, what about when we want to get someone's opinion on something? That's where "what do you think" shines as a versatile and engaging phrase.
It's like opening a door to a world of possibilities, inviting someone to share their unique perspective, and fostering a sense of collaborative dialogue. Whether you're trying to choose a restaurant for dinner, brainstorm ideas for a project, or simply want to hear someone's thoughts on a current event, "what do you think?" is a fantastic way to spark conversation and encourage deeper engagement.
It's a signal that you value their opinion and are genuinely interested in hearing their thoughts, which can be incredibly validating and create a more dynamic and enriching conversation.
And sometimes those unexpected opinions can lead to the most fascinating discoveries and enlightening discussions. It's all about being open to different perspectives and embracing the diversity of thought.
I couldn't agree more. Now let's venture into a realm that often involves a specific set of English phrases: the world of shopping. Imagine you're in a store captivated by that perfect item, but you need to know the price before you can make a decision.
In those moments, how much is it? Is your trusty sidekick a simple, direct, and universally understood phrase that works in any shopping context? It's the starting point of any transaction, the key that unlocks the door to purchasing that coveted item.
It's the magic phrase that sets the wheels of commerce in motion. But of course, shopping isn't just about the price. We often need to ask for clarification or gather additional information to make informed decisions.
Exactly. Imagine you're browsing through a sale rack and spot something that catches your eye. "Is this on sale?" is the perfect phrase to clarify the discount situation and determine whether it fits within your budget. And if you're not carrying cash, knowing whether the store accepts credit cards is crucial, so do you take credit cards? Becomes an essential question in your shopping repertoire.
Absolutely. Those supplementary phrases equip you to navigate the shopping experience smoothly and confidently, ensuring you have all the information you need before making a purchase. It's all about being a savvy shopper and knowing how to ask the right questions.
So we've covered a lot of ground today, from those initial greetings that set the stage for an interaction to navigating the nuances of shopping and making informed purchasing decisions. It's amazing how these everyday phrases, often overlooked or taken for granted, can have such a profound impact on our ability to communicate effectively and confidently in English.
They really are the building blocks of fluent and natural communication, the threads that weave together our daily interactions and allow us to connect with others, express our needs, and navigate various social situations with ease. I think we often underestimate the power of these simple phrases, but they're truly the foundation upon which we build our conversational skills.
And the beauty of it is that they're often short, easy to remember, and incredibly versatile. It's like having a toolbox of essential communication tools at your fingertips, ready to be deployed whenever the need arises.
Exactly. And just like any tool, the more you use them, the more comfortable and proficient you become. So I encourage you to take these phrases out for a spin in your daily life.
Challenge yourself to use "what's up" with a colleague, or, when you need to politely interrupt a conversation. You'll be surprised how quickly they become second nature.
And remember, language learning is all about practice and putting yourself out there. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn and grow. Speaking of learning and growth, let's transition to a specific type of conversation that can be incredibly rewarding and intellectually stimulating, expressing opinions and engaging in discussions where we can really flex our mental muscles and share our unique perspectives with the world.
It's in those moments of sharing and debate that we truly get to explore ideas, challenge assumptions, and refine our understanding of the world around us. It's where those everyday phrases transform into tools for critical thinking and meaningful dialogue.
Absolutely. And one of the most potent tools in our conversational arsenal for this purpose is the simple yet powerful phrase, "What do you think?" It's an invitation to delve deeper into a topic, to explore different viewpoints, and to engage in a meaningful dialogue that goes beyond just stating facts.
It's like opening a door to a realm of possibilities where ideas can be freely exchanged, perspectives can be challenged and refined, and we can collectively enrich our understanding of the world through the lens of multiple viewpoints.
Think of it as a springboard for intellectual exploration. Imagine you're reading an interesting article or watching a thought-provoking documentary. Asking someone, "What do you think?" can spark a fascinating conversation that unveils layers of meaning and nuance that you might not have considered on your own. Now let's transition to another essential aspect of everyday conversations: seeking assistance. We all encounter situations where we need a helping hand, whether it's carrying heavy groceries, understanding complex instructions, or simply getting a second opinion on something. Being able to articulate our needs clearly and effectively is crucial for navigating these situations smoothly.
It appears that being able to say, "Can you help me?" with clarity and confidence can make all the difference in receiving the support we need. It's a straightforward and universally understood request that can be used in a wide range of contexts.
Now, while "can you help me" is a great starting point, there are times when we might want to phrase our request in a more nuanced way, especially when we're asking for a favor from someone we don't know as well, or when the situation calls for a higher level of formality.
That's where phrases like, "Could you lend a hand?"
"Could you lend a hand" is a bit more polite and less direct than "can you help me." It suggests a willingness to reciprocate the favor and creates a sense of mutual respect.
And "Would you mind helping me?" is even more deferential, implying that you're aware that you're asking for something that might inconvenience the other person and that you respect their time and willingness to assist.
It's about being mindful of social etiquette and choosing the phrase that best suits the situation and your relationship with the person you're asking. It's about recognizing those subtle nuances of language that can make a big difference in how our communication is perceived.
So whether you need assistance with a practical task, seeking clarification on a complex topic, or simply want a second opinion, remember the power of asking for help. It's a sign of strength, not weakness, and it can open doors to new learning opportunities and strengthen our connections with others.
Now let's shift gears and talk about those times when we need to express disagreement or offer a different perspective, which can be a bit tricky, especially when we want to maintain a harmonious and respectful atmosphere.
It's like walking a tightrope, isn't it? You want to assert your own viewpoint without dismissing or disrespecting the other person's perspective. It appears that finding that balance between assertiveness and diplomacy is key to navigating these potentially sensitive conversations.
Exactly. It's about expressing our own thoughts and feelings while also acknowledging and respecting the validity of the other person's viewpoint. We can start by actively listening to what they have to say and trying to understand their perspective, even if we don't necessarily agree with it.
So instead of immediately jumping in with a counter-argument, we take a moment to reflect on what they've said and try to see things from their point of view.
Yeah.
We can use phrases like, "I understand where you're coming from," or "I see your point," to acknowledge their perspective before presenting our own.
Precisely. Those phrases show that we've genuinely considered their viewpoint, even if we ultimately disagree. It's about creating a space for open and respectful dialogue where different perspectives can be shared and explored without fear of judgment or hostility.
And when we do express our disagreement, we can use phrases like, "I respectfully disagree," or "I see things a bit differently," to soften the blow and avoid sounding confrontational or dismissive.
It's about framing our disagreement as a difference of opinion rather than a personal attack. We can focus on the issue at hand and present our own perspective calmly and rationally, using phrases like "in my experience" or "based on the information I have."
And it's important to remember that it's perfectly okay to agree to disagree. Not every conversation needs to end in a resolution. Sometimes simply having a respectful exchange of ideas can be valuable in itself.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that we all have different perspectives and experiences that shape our views, and that's okay. The goal isn't necessarily to change each other's minds, but rather to engage in a thoughtful and respectful dialogue that broadens our understanding.
Now let's transition to another important aspect of daily conversations: asking for help. Sometimes we all need a helping hand, and knowing how to phrase that request can make all the difference. For a more polite request, you could say, "Could you lend a hand?" which suggests a more collaborative approach.
And for a more formal tone, you might say, "Would you mind helping me?" which shows deference and respect for the other person's time and willingness to assist. It's all about choosing the right level of formality for the situation.
Exactly. And tone of voice plays a big role too.
Mm.
A genuine, friendly tone can make even a simple request sound more approachable and less demanding.
Now, what about when we want to get someone's opinion on something? What do you think? Is such a valuable phrase for sparking conversation and getting those insights?
It encourages engagement and shows that you value the other person's perspective. Whether it's a casual chat about a movie or a discussion about a more serious topic, what do you think, opens up that dialogue and invites them to share their thoughts and feelings.
It's a fantastic way to move beyond just stating facts and get into that deeper level of sharing and understanding. It shows that you're genuinely interested in what they have to say and that you value their input.
Now let's venture into the realm of shopping, an activity that often involves some essential English phrases. Imagine you're in a store, eyeing that perfect item, but need to know the price.
Studies show "how much is it" is your go-to phrase. It's simple, direct, and understood in any shopping context. It's the starting point for any transaction and a phrase that every shopper needs to have in their arsenal.
It's the magic question that unlocks the door to making a purchase. But shopping isn't just about the price, is it? We might need to ask for clarification, like, is this on sale? Or do you have this in a different size?
And in today's world, it's almost always essential to know, do you take credit cards? These phrases help you navigate the shopping experience smoothly and confidently, ensuring you have all the information you need before making a decision.
So we've covered a wide array of everyday English phrases today, from greetings and goodbyes to asking for help and expressing opinions. It appears that these seemingly small phrases play a huge role in our daily interactions, shaping our communication and influencing how we connect with others.
They're the building blocks of fluent and natural communication, helping us connect with others, navigate various situations, and express ourselves effectively. I encourage you to practice using these phrases in your own conversations and see how they can transform your communication.
Think of it as a fun challenge. The more you use them, the more comfortable and confident you'll become. And remember, even native English speakers make mistakes, so don't be afraid to put yourself out there and experiment.
It's been a pleasure diving into the world of everyday English with you, Ryan.
Likewise, Amy. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this episode of Listen to English Podcast. We hope you found it insightful and enjoyable. Until next time, keep those conversations flowing.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. It really helps our channel grow and reach more English learners like you. By subscribing, you'll never miss a new episode, and by liking the video, you're letting us know you want more helpful content. Thank you for your support. It means so much to us.